review of Life Chesses for the Bold and Beautiful July 11, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Did y'all like it? They need to get back to showing the preview for the next week's episode. But okay, so the episode started with Lee repeating that Luna died and stuff, and she was like, Penelope, you just in shock and stuff like that. That's why you saying all these things. And she was like, no, I know fully what I'm saying. I'm glad she did. She said, I'm glad she did. But yeah, she ends up taking her to a room. Hold on. She ended up taking her to a room, just trying to talk to her. To myself, what's wrong with you? You're disgusting. The reason all this happening is because of you. And I was like, at what point do they hold Luna accountable? And when she kept talking at first, now before they got towards the end of their scene, she kept on talking in present tense, and I was like, yeah, she got Luna, y'all, she got Luna. But we won't know for sure until the show, y'all. But yeah, she was just telling her how all this happened because of her, because she was taking all these substances and she had all these different men, and she didn't tend to her daughter. She didn't see that her daughter needed love and all this other stuff. And Poppy was telling her, you didn't even care about us. So what you talk about? You over here act like you care now that she gone and all this, but where were you? And I said, that's true. That's true, because remember when they first came to town, she was talking crazy and stuff. They didn't want nothing to do with her. And I was like, that's guilt. That's guilt. And she started talking about how Luna was as a little girl. And I said, none of that matters now. Look at what she did. And even if she do turn out to have that girl, I was like, she still got to pay for her crimes. She definitely do. But at the same time, if Bill got her off once, somebody can get her off the second time. But we'll see. But yeah, she was just saying, once again, she glad to be rid of her, because everything she did, she repeated to her. She done took out 2 men. She tried to take out Steffi. She turned around. She shot Sheila. Then she shot Liam and all this other stuff. Just reminding Penelope, a.k.a. Poppy, what she did. You seem to be forgetting it. And that's when she was talking about some, it's your fault, you responsible. She would have turned out differently. I was like, I'm so sick of them saying that. You don't know that for sure. But yeah, I'm starting to think that they actually gonna go with that storyline. But y'all know they introduce, once again, I've said this multiple times, they always introduce storylines and they drop them. It seems like the ones that could be really interesting, that's the one they drop. Then they still want to sit up here and do the Brooke Taylor Ridge storyline 1,000 freaking times. Y'all ever notice that? They'll sit up here and do the same storyline over and over again. But anything that look different, they don't want to do that though. Hold on, let me finish this right fast. Yeah, they don't want to do that though. Who else we got? Let's see. Deacon Sheila, he was just checking on her. Apparently, she actually did lose another toe, so she only got 8 left. She might want to stay out of trouble. But yeah, Deacon said he thought he lost. She don't care. She was like, I don't care. She was like, I'm glad she gone or whatever. But it kind of, I don't know if she just saying that or she actually don't care. But yeah, Deacon was saying how he thought he lost Sheila, and she was like, she tried out of bed. She wanted to go see Luna, and I was like, I knew she was gonna take this hard. I knew she was gonna feel some type of way. And Finn just standing there, it's like he trying to control himself and not feel what he want to feel. Did y'all see him? Hold on. Well, yeah, Deacon was telling her how he'll go and check on Luna, make sure everything okay. The first place he went is to check on Liam. The first place he went to say that about your daughter, that's freaking cold. Yep, true that. Deacon go sit up here and say some doggone, you're nothing like Luna. What the world going on? I said, shoot, they one and the same to me. I think Luna might be crazy, but I don't know. I might be wrong. He talking about they nothing. I was like, they both done sit up here and murder 2 people. How come they not? I was like, he in La La Land. Talking about something they nothing alike, because I think Sheila was the one saying they wanted the same day alike. They both misunderstood and all this other stuff. Excuse me. And I was like, man, Deacon, you gonna wake up one day. I want to see how Sheila's gonna react now that she knows that Luna's dead, allegedly. I want to see if she's gonna resort back to her old ways or what. I can't wait to see everyone's reaction in September. Right, exactly. I want to see too. Talking crazy still, or is she gonna be like she changed once again? But yeah, Deacon finally ended up going to see, but like I said, the first place he went is to check on Liam. And that's when he was saying that, Liam still has to fight. He hasn't woke up yet. And he was asking about Luna. That's when Finn came in and told Sheila that Luna was dead. She died in recovery. And Sheila just started crying and stuff like that. And Deacon went over there to hug her. And Finn was just standing up there like he fighting back how he truly feels or something. I was like, he ain't showing no type of, he just making this weird face. He just making this face like he don't know how to feel, what to think. But I said maybe next week we'll actually see, how he truly feels. But yeah, they didn't show. Did y'all see a preview for next week's episode? They stopped ever since, it got mixed up. We an episode behind, so I'm assuming they're gonna show it Monday this week. They showed it Monday. Hold on. What else? Let me see. Liam, Finn, Steffi Hope. Steph and Hope just took turns talking to Liam and stuff like that, letting him know that they right there for him. Don't give up. You said you would protect us, and you did. Just talking to him about that. Steffi ends up telling Liam that Luna can't hurt them anymore. I said allegedly. Allegedly, she can't hurt you no more. Y'all said that before. Y'all thought that before. Let's see. Steffi, Hope, Carter, Ridge, Taylor, and Bill. Ridge and Taylor ended up showing up, and they was just hugging Steffi, and she was just saying, she was about to say that Liam has a mask because she was a mask. She was saying how, he hasn't been okay for a long time. Then Bill came and Steffi went off. Confused why Lee made this 180. Hold on. I'm confused why Lee made this 180 regarding Luna at first. She could care less. That's what the same thing I said. She did. She definitely did. I was like, was she just in the office telling Finn how he needs to stay away from her and he can't have no contact? I said she did a switcheroo real fast, didn't she? But yeah, I was like, now she over here. It's Poppy's fault, this and that. I was like, okay, ain't that the same thing Bill said? And now look at him out there crying and stuff, trying to explain himself to Steffi now. But that's who we finna talk about. Like I said, Steffi looked like she was about to tell because she looked back at Hope and then she started to say he hasn't been okay for a long time. Bill came in asking where is he or whatever. So that's when Steffi went off. Steffi went off on him. Let me see. Hold on. Let me find it. He ends up apologizing. Bill ends up apologizing and stuff like that. And Steffi basically tell him, go get out of here or whatever. You the reason why he got shot. You the reason he's in the hospital. You might as well have been the one to pull the trigger and just telling Bill about himself. And I said, true that. He definitely responsible. But at the same time, I was saying, you can't tell him to leave. I was like, well, don't they do it now that Steffi not married to him and Hope not married to him? Don't they do like your parent can be the one to make the decisions or what? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yo, his conscience definitely gonna eat him up, especially when he find out about the mask, alleged mask. Cause they were saying this week we supposed to found out something about the mask, but we didn't. We definitely didn't. But yeah, I thought the next of kin would be the one responsible for making the decision and stuff. But yeah, she was just telling him to get out of here. He's the one responsible. He might as well have been the one to pull the trigger or whatever. She was like, did you know that Luna pulled a weapon on Will? He was like, what? How come nobody told me? And she was like, probably because you the one responsible. I said, true that. True that. But I still think a lot of them at fault. Hold on. Not because they wanted Luna crazy so not to have a part in Finn's life. Obviously, you wouldn't want that because look at what she did. But it's just they done made some stupid choices. They definitely did sit up here. Stephen just kept on talking crazy. She did tell Taylor and Ridge that Sheila had came there. She tried to stop Luna, but she wouldn't listen. They got to arguing over the weapon or whatever, and it went off, and that's how she got shot. And Taylor was like her own grandmother, and she was like yeah, whatever. But she kept saying how Leon ended up saving her. Hold on, what that is? But yeah, let's see. What else? She told that Will was wearing the wire. He tried to help her or whatever. And yeah, Bill just started crying and he was like, he gonna forever think about that. And he just want to be there for his son now and hold him, let him know everything gonna be okay and all this other extra stuff. And they showed a preview already where Ridge and Taylor, well, mostly Ridge, gonna be telling him how he's responsible. I said, I hope he don't leave though. I said, no, he don't. If he leave, we probably ain't gonna see him for a long time. I think Lee gonna try to get Luna some mental help. She obviously feel bad how Luna was raised. Yep, she gonna do something. I think that they don't showed us enough for us to know that they finna get ready to do something. Well, not they, but Lee. But yeah, Bill was just standing out there explaining himself. Steffi ends up leaving to go in the room, and she was just hugging Hope again. Y'all know what I say. At least once a year, they want to be one big happy family again. And next thing you know, they be at each other's throat again. But yeah, they was just talking to him and supporting him and stuff like that. Carter was trying to support Hope. But yeah, Bill finally made it, y'all. We've been waiting on him for a long time, and he done arrived. He crying and stuff and just explaining himself. I was like, stop explaining yourself. Go see your son. I said, go see him, but it's too late. Now, I don't know. I haven't read anything lately that he ain't going to actually die. Because I feel like if he was going to die, he would have been dead by now. He would have been gone by now. I think they finna connect Grace to the whole storyline, but I could be wrong. Hold on. Bill has to find a word regarding Liam because that's his son. I thought so. I definitely thought so. I was like, you barely can tell, what's his name? Finn to stay away from his people. Look at how he reacted when he seen them laying on the floor. Look at how he reacted. I said, now you trying to tell Bill. Now I understand because it is Bill's fault. Partially his fault anyway. But at the same time, I was like, you ain't got to explain yourself to these folks. Go see your son. Go on, go see him. Everybody else taking their turn to go see him. You might as well go in there. But yeah, I definitely think his conscience going to eat him up when he when he fully realizes what he done did, especially when he finds out about the mask. I don't know if Steffi gonna be the one to tell it or the doctor or what, but yeah. I said, about time. I've been waiting on him to show up for a long time, and he finally here. Let me see. Is there anything else? Bill makes it to the hospital. Yeah, that was it, y'all. That was it. That was all. They didn't show for next week's episode yet. Like I said, lately they've been doing on Mondays, so we'll see. But also, it's this page. I don't know the name of it. It's on Facebook. They be dropping clips, and then like the title be in another language. So I don't know. Obviously, it's over the country, in another country. But yeah, they be uploading spoiler clips. I don't know if anybody else been seeing that, but yeah. That's it. That's all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and be safe.